Hey, first of all, if you would have looked at the thumbnail picture, there are so many things in that thumbnail picture I would like to talk about. The actual day of 1976, July 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th, otherwise known as Operation Sail. Very, very few of us ever in the history of mankind ever got to go to what is called a brigada or brigade of ships. The tall ships were in Hudson River, in the harbor. All the aircraft carriers that were in that part of the world, the battleships, tall ships from the 1700s, they were all in the area of New York Harbor. Some of that which you see behind me on the boat. So what I want to talk about today is how and when was the first time I experienced a higher state of consciousness that we call cosmic consciousness. And actually on that day, I was in that zone. So I'm going to read the comments as I go along. And if you people have any questions about Operation Sail, because that happened in 1976, and I can answer them, I'd be happy to answer them for you. And what you're looking at in the picture of my thumbnail, aside from some of the underachievers in this world who have said, I don't know anything about construction, in the thumbnail of that picture itself, where I am actually standing is on the deck of a 21-foot 6-inch cabin cruiser that I built from scratch. I built that cabin cruiser. I bought the paper patterns and I built by myself with very, very little help. I needed help for like two things. My dad helped me, taught me how to bend lumber with a commercial grade steamer. It was run by kerosene. I got that from, I got that from Frankie Calise and Bobby Calise. And Frankie Calise ran the Teamsters Union, and he sent me over to a man named Joey Farina, who had the steamer in New Jersey. So that was one of the few things that I needed to learn how to do, was bend lumber to build that boat. But I was in what we call the zone, in the zone of Buddha consciousness or cosmic consciousness or the Christ consciousness. And there are multitudes of ways that you can move into the zone. So, whoa, we have Lyrish, and we have to give a big shout out to Lyrish. Lyrish, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a wrench so that you can take your channel link and post it here in the beginning of the comments. So, because this week is Lyrish Israel Caregivers Week for everybody in the Philippines community to give Lyrish Israel Caregiver a little love by giving her a shout out and becoming a member of her channel. So let me give you that wrench. This is a temporary wrench, but I'm going to give you the wrench. I added you just now as a moderator. So if you have your hula hoop videos or your exercise videos or your jump rope videos, and you want to just go get the link, put the link and the title in your comment, and you will be allowed to post that. So welcome to the machine, Lyrish Israel Caregiver. We have, this is his new name, bro, the legend. Actually, I have created some legends where I grew up. So let me go to the top of the comments, because quite a few comments already. So Chi Corsairs, I hope you saw the video I just posted about an hour ago of the Chi Corsair shout out from the deep. And Lyrish, you can post any of the videos of your friends, the girls, or Big E's videos. You now have the ability to post until this week is up. You'll have a wrench. So thanks for stopping by, Lyrish in the Philippines. Now, I'll give you a moment of who Lyrish is. She's a woman with children who lives in Israel and is a caregiver, I think, for the elderly. That part I'm not real clear on. However, she's also a very sweet Filipina. In fact, when she talks, she's very meek. The one piece of information I want to share with you, Lyrish, is that the microphone falls down away from your mouth often and no one can hear you. So maybe you could put it around your ear, the wire or something like that, so it doesn't fall down. And often she is speaking and you are speaking at the same time. That makes it difficult, especially to hear your voice, because you have a very low voice. But moving past that, Lyrish does these crazy exercises by jumping rope, and she actually jumps rope quite well. And also, I like the hula hoop thing. I like the way you move your hips back and forth and forward and back. That's very, very exciting videos you make there. I just want to let you know, sweet as you are, those videos where you're making the hips go like this and like that, very nice. So Big E is in the house. Welcome to the machine. Big E and I were talking on the phone for a while, and Big E had asked me if I would care to make a show this afternoon, because he just wanted to give his voice a rest. Honeyco is in the house. Welcome to the machine. I do have a shout out for you, Honeyco. I don't know if it's loaded yet. Each one of those 1 minute shout outs takes 2 hours to load because of the slow data. And Philippines on Demand, Bill is here. Well, good afternoon, Bill. Now, Bill also is running a channel out of the Philippines with his beautiful Filipina wife. And you might want to check out his channel. And when it's time for Bill to be put up in the headlights of everybody on the Philippines community, Bill will get Lyrish's wrench. Okay? So the Lyrish is calling me the legend. I gotta tell you, that's an amazing thing. That's quite the compliment, actually, too, coming from a woman, because not a lot of women like me. Because I'm very shy. I'm a very timid person. Women, they meet me and they go, how come you're so shy? And I tell them, you know, I just the way I was brought up, very timid, very shy. I guess you could call me an introvert. So for having Lyrish call me the legend. And actually, I've heard stories just recently of how many people Big E is paying to come to my channel to watch my videos. They're not coming because I bang a pot and make a lot. And they're not coming because of listen, there's a lot of people that come for different reasons. But this week, there's a lot of people been coming to my channel because they have realized finally there's a man on YouTube, and we'll get into the definition of man. There's a man on YouTube that's running a legitimate scam. So aside from Honeyco and Philippines on Demand, we have Rain Rule, and I like the way you projected your opinion on Chi's show about an hour ago. That was really cool. I like that. That you told that man that he shouldn't have made the videos with the nasty words in the title. And I like that. So, digressing back, unless I see Big E says, I gave up my slot only to the coolest men. I gave up my let me put my glasses on. I gave up my slot only to the coolest man like you, Bishop Fazio. That's another scam I'm running, but that's a legitimate scam. The paperwork is being processed. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to go under the title of Father Fun, but I could put myself down as a bishop to the Church of Christians Plus, because everybody is going to have a position. She is going to do the the hymns, and Big E is going to have there's a dating, the underworld dating is going to be at the bottom of the church, underneath. It used to be a pit where there was going to be a water tank, but I found another pit right behind it, and now I'm going to put those two pits together. I'll get an excavator in there and make the two pits into one pit. It'll be one giant pit where Big E will be teaching dating techniques to the Filipino women. And the requirement for that, I just want to go over, there is going to be a requirement for, we're only going to have a limited amount of women that are going to be able to come and experience the Big E, so to speak. Not necessarily know Big E in the biblical sense, but to experience Big E in the spiritual sense. So the requirement that you girls should start to prepare are any photo shoots of yourself in a pair of shorts. I personally like the shorts, the cut-off shorts, the really short cut-off shorts that have fringes on them. I like those. And I like a girl with those cut-off shorts and a bikini, like a two-piece bikini, but the shorts, denim shorts with the fringes on the bottom, and then the top of a bikini, preferably a string bikini, but that would be up to you. So if you have, and then a shot with a profile, a frontal shot, a profile shot, and of course what you look like from the rear, because that's the way I like my women. That's the way I like my women. We should look at you coming and going, because that's the best thing. That's the best. So just understand, I want you to know that Big E is going to have a requirement, a photo contest for you women, even though that Big E was accused of paying you women to come to my show. I don't think that's the case. So now Lyrish is calling Big E her sugar daddy. And nothing could be further from the truth. Big Kevin, do I see Big Kevin in that? I see Big Kevin. My God. Now there is a man that knows satire. Big Kevin is another man who runs a different channel on YouTube. And at first you look at Big Kevin and you say, what's going on here? But listen to what Big Kevin says. Big Kevin has this, it's not British, it's not dry humor. It's humor. I gotta tell you, some of the stuff that Big Kevin says, Big Kevin, you had me in freaking tears this afternoon. I gotta tell you, Big Kevin was doing and saying and making faces and talking about things. He had me in tears this afternoon. So if you want comedy, you go to the Big Kevin show, because he, at first, it's like you don't know what's going on his channel, but when he gets on a roll, like let's say he likes you, well, he'll have fun with Chi and talk about her attributes as a friend and in a comedic fashion. But let's say somebody he doesn't like. Let's say he doesn't like somebody. Or let's say somebody is annoying Big Kevin. Let's just say. Now, this is all part of being godlike, To be godlike is not necessarily to always be happy and loving. To be godlike is to be critical, but to let the person know that you're being critical and you're serious. Just like God says, if you're not a good person, you're going to hell. So Big Kevin has this, it's an odd way of humor. Now, if you're not sure what Big Kevin's odd sense of humor is, I suggest you go to the show he did this afternoon with Chi. Because somebody has to give Big Kevin a shout out, because he deserves a shout out. But another interesting fact about Big Kevin is people send Big Kevin Super Chat. That's different than when people send me money, because when they send me money, I call it stupid chat, because I'm running a legitimate scam. Big Kevin is earning his money the old-fashioned way. And when Big Kevin does these little comedy routines and skits, or when he has people on the panel and they are interacting with one another, it's beyond the pale as far as comedy is concerned. And then Big Kevin will let the people on the panel go at it. He'll let them attack each other like a couple of pit bulls, right? And then Big Kevin is in the background saying snide or comedic remarks all the time in the background. He never stops. So if you're looking at the two contestants, the pit bulls, going at it, then you look over to Big Kevin's side of the channel. Big Kevin is going at it like one remark, one slight, one comedic expose after another. And then he does tricks too. He does tricks. So I also want to make mention that Big Kevin, it is noticeable that you lost weight. Congratulations on that. Definitely noticeable that the sweatsuit you had on about 2 weeks ago, you said, look, I lost weight. You did lose weight, because I remember when that thing was stretched out, and now there's room in there to breathe. So that's something I wanted to talk about, Big Kevin's show. And then I'm gonna teach you guys how to get in touch with your higher self. But let's go back to the boat. The boat I built was a 21-foot cabin cruiser. So the stories that you hear from the schleps of YouTube saying, I don't know about tools, and I probably don't know how to build anything. Well, that boat was 21 feet long. It took me 2 years to build it. I put a Volvo AQ130 engine in there with a Volvo 270 T as in Tango stern drive, aquamarine stern drive. I did the installation of the motor by myself. I made a hoist over the boat and dropped the motor in. I did all the water plumbing for the intake and the petcock valve and all of that. Then inside the boat, I had a cabin that slept 3 comfortably, and there was 2 seats. I used automobile seats out of a Camaro or a Firebird. And then there was the back seats. They all had, one had a gas tank under one side, and on the other side there was a gas tank, and there was a crossover valve, and the electric had terminal strips, all aircraft grade wiring, aircraft grade terminal strips, because at that time I was working for Fairchild Industries, and there was a lot of stuff in the tool room that was like, it could be used on aircraft, but it was used for the previous aircraft that they were building. So the tool chief would say, what do you need today? And I would tell him, I need wire. And he'd go, what size? And I tell him what size. He'd give me coils of the stuff. I still have coils of wire from 1974, 75, like that. I still have 15 of those terminal strips that I talked about. I still have aircraft grade starter switches for 24 volt starters, which will hold 50 amp starter switches, push button switches. I got all kinds of stuff. The stuff they would build an airplane, and then whatever was left over from the airplane, they would just put it in a garbage in the back. So I just would ask them. I would tell him I need Manel bolts or stainless steel bolts. He'd say, what size? I give him a list, and he'd give me the bolts back. And talking about lists and scams, that's in the title. Today was one of the greatest scams I ever pulled off on YouTube. A man named John Escape, who's sleeping now, but don't tell him I said this. He asked me to make a list, and I had no idea. I said, no, I don't need anything from America, and I don't need nothing for a year, right? For a year, I made him practically beg me for me to make a list to send stuff in ballot buy-in boxes. Well, we're gonna give John Escape a big shout out. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you something that it's part of something that I built last week. This is an oil filter. This with me putting my hand in the pot, the Lord spoke to me this afternoon and said, Michael, if you put a piece of metal in the pot, it will sound a lot better. So I did. So we're going to give John Escape a shout out for sending me 2 ballot buy-in boxes with about $1,000 worth of scuba gear and another $600 or $700 in foods. So listen to the pot with my fingers in the pot. A whole different thing. So we're going to use the seasoned side of the spatula, the round side. Listen to the pot. This is the money pot. This is another scam I've been running on people since last April. 1 year now. This pot has paid for itself many times over. So listen to the sound. It's a nice sound. It's the sound of money. Okay, it is the sound of money. Don't make any mistake. This is the money pot. But I was banging this pot this afternoon because what it does is it gives you energy, chi. The chi that runs through your body. Chi is another word for energy. And I guess if you were in a Zen Buddhist monastery, that's the word for energy, chi. Okay, but you could call it the Christ energy from God or Buddha consciousness. You could call a lot of things. So here's the money pot with my fingers in it. Okay, sounds good, and it makes a lot of money. But now here's the money pot with this piece of metal, which used to be an oil filter, and I'll show you how I came to having this oil filter. It looks like an accordion, but it's really an oil filter that I modified for a machine I had to do some work on. So now listen to the money pot. Whole different thing. If you really listen closely, the harmonic vibration of the pot, 2 different things. That pot, when I do a bang a pot, make a lot show, I expect people to send me stupid chat, because if you send me money because I'm banging a pot, you gotta be stupid. But remember, I run a legitimate scam. So here we go. We're gonna talk about the comments for a minute. So whoa, Rain is calling Big E a sugar daddy. Sexpat Hunter, this is the Philippine expat community. Way more than one person running a scam. And that's true, Sexpat Hunter. That's very true. Except the difference is I run a legitimate scam. I put the paperwork in. The paperwork is being processed now for me to start a church so I can start collecting money in the name of the Lord. In the name of the Lord. And then I'll have a food kitchen. We'll also have a dating service, and there are going to be other services at the church. Like one of the services we're going to provide at the church is when you walk in the door, you're going to see a big sign. It's going to have a picture of some of the contributors that help build the church. Now, I can't say the name of the biggest contributor, but I can tell you one. But I can give you the names of the 2nd and 3rd and 4th biggest contributors. So that would be Warren H., because he's going to have a residence not so far away from the church itself called the Warren H. Pavilion. And he's going to have the 2nd floor of the hotel that I'm building. Then we have, that's the 2nd biggest donor. Then we have Scott Del Fuego, who's in for 250,000 pesos US. $5,000. And then we have Jack Thompson, who's in for $1,000. But I haven't even started collecting yet. But I got these are pledges. So far I haven't received the monies from these people, but I'll I'll sock it to them when the time comes. I'll send them how to get money to me. As soon as we figure out how to get me some money, besides Stupid Chat, because I don't really like Stupid Chat too much, because I don't mind giving Google money. But I got to tell you, I won't do the math for you, but I'm going to tell you, last month from me, Google made $100. So you figure out what the math is on that. Okay, now another story that you hear from people calling me a scammer is that I'm scamming you for Super Chat. Somehow or another, I get into your head and I make you send me money. Now that happens all the time when I bang the pot. The other day I was just talking about banging the pot on Big Kevin's show, and Scott Del Fuego Super Chatted Kevin about $25, and Canoy in the Philippines Super Chatted him money, and several other people. The money was just coming in from every direction, because every time I talked about banging the pot in the comments section, Canoy or Scott would say, Michael is in my head. He's forcing me to send money to Big Kevin. But with me, I don't do that. So let's get back to how to become one with God. And this is going to be one of my greatest gifts to mankind. So aside from some people saying I don't know how to use tools, that boat that you see in the video, I built that boat. And July 3rd, 1976, I put that boat in the water at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I went back to work at Mrs. Hassett's house. I finished her railing on her steps. I got together with a guy named Vinny, one of my friends from childhood who lived across the street from me. We loaded the boat up with foods, and he liked rum and Coke, and I brought sodas because I don't drink. And we loaded the boat up with foods on July 3rd, and we didn't come back for 4 days. And it was the maiden voyage. So we put the boat in the water at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I took the boat to the Operation Sail about 5 o'clock that night. And I had that boat for 17 years. It didn't leak a drop. Then one in like the 16th year, the winter, they left. The petcock was there, but leaves got in the boat somehow, and it in the fall, and the water filled up the boat, and it was full too. I mean, it was like 18 inches of water. So the starter was destroyed, and water got into the alternator. It was a mess. But that wasn't the problem, really. The starter and the alternator could be replaced. What happened was the wood got spongy. So the boat was 17 years old, but it didn't leak. And we just cut it up. We took the motor out. We junked the motor. I kept the stern drive until 2016. And then I sold the stern drive for $100 because somebody wanted the gears inside that stern drive. So when it comes to scamming, I run a legitimate scam. You can ask other people on YouTube. They'll tell you. They'll tell you this guy is scamming you. So let me explain to you. This is how I scam the people. I put 700, 800 videos in Patreon. That's another scam. That's a monthly income. I put 700 or 800 videos on there, and I charge people to watch the videos, like Netflix. Who's better than me? But some of the things on those in Patreon are pure, unadulterated comedy, satire, and some of it's just stupid. But that would be at the $20 or above level. But most of my members, 30% of the members are at the $20 or above level. And the other members have been members for almost going on 2 years now. Thank you very much. So let me get back to the comments, and then we're going to talk about how to get in touch with your higher self and how to run a legitimate scam. So Lyrish and Rain also believe that Big E is the best sugar daddy around. So that's how I got these women here in the first place. Big E is paying these women to come and stay here for hours on end and watch my videos. Thank you very much, Big E. So Lyrish, thank you, Sir Fazio. Never expect to hear this from you. And she gives me 2 thumbs up and 3 hearts. So I guess there's love there. And she's a sweet girl. So Lyrish has a wrench, as you know, and she can post whatever she wants. Brian Ramos is here. Welcome to the machine, Brian Ramos. Sorry I didn't see you earlier. We have Rain Rule, Mrs. Livingstone. And I do believe Mrs. Livingstone is a friend of all these ladies as well. Welcome to the machine, Mrs. Livingstone. Thank you for stopping by. And so Big E he's lying right now. He's saying he doesn't know how to perform sugar daddy services. But I think he does. So April in Cebu is in the house. So now there has been some confusion as to who April in Cebu is, and who other people are. The women of the Big E. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. It's a damn harem. Okay, he is the harem master. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. The man has 30 different women that love him. Okay. Now, I didn't say make love to him. I said that love him. And you want to know why? Because he's got personality. He's got personality. He got a lot more personality than me. But so how do you make 30 women come to watch the Big E extravaganza or even to the Michael Fazio show? Unless you're paying them, right? I mean, unless you tell them about the show first, give them the link. So Big E is a harem. He's running the show here. But so just remember, I don't know what to say about that. But he's not paying these girls to come and watch me. Are you crazy? So let's get a little love here. Let's get some Lord of the. This is how you get in touch. One way to get in touch with your higher self. And I'm not being facetious. Let's get Jesus over here. Jesus, how you doing? I'm doing okay, Michael Fazio. Thank you, Jesus. So, one way is through meditation. One way to become one with your higher self is through meditation. That's a Hatha, H-A-T-H-A, Hatha yoga breathing exercise. I'm being serious now. This is serious. So one way is a Hatha yoga exercise. Now, the simple breathing exercises in Hatha yoga, typically you just breathe in and breathe out. A little bit more complex is you hold your one nostril closed, you'll breathe in through the left nostril, and you'll breathe out through the right nostril. That one, once you progress to that, you probably think that you could do that, but you can't. I'll tell you right now, 90% of the people that try to do that breathing exercise 50 times will panic before they get to 20 times because they don't think they're getting enough oxygen. And the reason for that is because their body chemistry is running at, their heart is racing faster than the amount of air that you can breathe in, because it's not just breathing in through the nostril. You might go breathe in to the count of 7, and then you might hold it to the count of 7, and then exhale it from the other side to the count of 7, and then when it's exhaled, you'll hold it for the count of 7. Typically, you start with 4, but 7 is a pretty high level of breathing. So when I say that you can't do it, go ahead and try it. I dare you to go ahead and try. Breathe in, hold it for the count of 7, breathe out, hold it for the count of 7. After you breathe, I mean, when I say breathe out, I mean all the air out of your lungs. Hold it for the count of 7. If you get to 5, I would say that you have accomplished something, as opposed to some people who have never accomplished anything in their life. But we won't talk about that just yet. But I think we're going to talk about that today. I do think we're going to talk about that. Just hang on. So another way, that's one breathing exercise. Another breathing exercise is completely different. It's a Zen Buddhist breathing exercise where you walk. You walk around in a circle, and then you breathe in, hold it, breathe out, hold it, all the time walking. And that's a different type of hatha yoga breathing exercise. But another way to do this is to focus on sound. Some people can focus on the sound of a bell, and just listening to the rhythmic vibrations of a bell while breathing in and doing that hatha yoga exercise will bring you to a higher place of consciousness. Now, I'm not being facetious here. I'm being serious. You guys try this, what I just told you to do, and let me know how that works out for you. Well, so the benefit of this is going to be immediate. These are immediate benefits. If you did that breathing exercise 50 times, if you could do it 50 times, what you're going to notice is an elevated rise in consciousness and thought process. Your mind is going to be clearer. It's kind of like having 2 cups of coffee. You may not go to sleep right away either, so try to do this a few hours before your bedtime, because it's going to bring air into your lungs and it's going to oxygenate your body. This is all serious stuff. For maybe 5 or 6 minutes, I'm going to be serious. Now, when I did the prayer for Darren's mom, I was serious the other day. I wasn't being... Some people... I heard stories that people were laughing. I wasn't being facetious. I was creating, in my mind's eye, energy that was coming up through the soles of my feet. And I could feel the energy coming into the soles of my feet. And it went through my body, and it came out through what is called the crown of your head, or the top of your head. And I just directed it towards Darren. It's healing energy, and healing is the color of pink. That's why I put the shirt on, the pink shirt. So healing is pink. And when you learn how to focus your brain, your mind, your consciousness on those breathing exercises, with the additional factor that when you're breathing in, you are saying to yourself, 1, 2, up to 7. And then when you hold it, let's say starting, best try 4. And when you're holding it, you're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you breathe out down to 7. You try it. I want you people to try it right now. I want you to see if you can do it. You can't do it. I'm not being facetious either. I'm telling you that you can't count from 0 to 7, hold it for 7 seconds, and breathe out through the opposite nostril. You're not using your mouth. You're not breathing in and out through your mouth. You're breathing in and out through your nostrils. You go ahead and try it. You're going to be surprised that you can't do it. Simple thing that you do all day long. Since the day you were born, you're not going to be able to count to 7. Hold it to 7. Exhale to 7. Hold it at 7. And then do that 20 times. Let alone 50 times. Okay? I know a guy, and I'm being serious now. I know a guy that wakes up in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he does that exercise to 15. 15 in, holds for 15, 15 out. Okay? And that's his warm-up. Then he goes to 30. 30 in, 30 hold, 30 out. And he's still not done. He can do in and hold it for 75 seconds. Breathe out slowly for 75 seconds. And then hold it for 75 seconds. You think that's not possible. But if I told you his name and who he was and what he did, you would say, well, maybe that guy could do it. But alas, I promised I wouldn't mention his name on YouTube. But 75 seconds. So now the other way to raise your consciousness, we'll get Jesus back over here. Jesus, come on over here. All right, Fazio. All right, so Jesus told me to do this today. So when I was praying for Darren's mom, I wasn't praying in the traditional sense. That was like a Zen Buddhist prayer where the energy flows up through your body. Okay? I'm not kidding about this. When you get proficient at it, you can feel the energy coming in through your feet, up through the chakra points in your body, and then out through your head. I don't know who Darren is. I don't know where Darren is. I don't know what state he's in. I don't care. The energy that I projected towards Darren and his mom went where it needed to go. It knows where to go. Even if I knew where Darren was, let's say I knew he was in the state of Texas and he was on 1st Street. Well, then where is he in the house? Where do I send the energy? What part of the house? Where is he? Is he in the kitchen? Is he sleeping? Doesn't matter where Darren is. The energy that I send to Darren and his mom goes there. And that is moving into planes of consciousness that people don't understand as reality. When I was building my boat, I was in a class with Norm Tolson, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 o'clock at night till 10 o'clock at night. But it always lasted longer, and everybody got there early. And he lived at 333 East 79th Street, right off 1st Avenue. And Norm taught us meditation. And he was a mystic master. He was my guru, okay? So he taught us how to do all these exercises. Now, I was only 17 at the time. And I wanted to, and it was voluntary. Tuesdays and Thursdays, it was a $2 donation, and he supplied some water and some snacks at some point. Now, that was a lot of money, because you got to remember, that was an hour's wages back then in 1973, 72, like that, because I started in high school. Okay, so that was an hour's wages. But Saturday and Sunday, we got there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we did meditation, and he taught us about different religions and philosophies. He taught us about Carillion photography. He taught us about how to focus, taught us how to sit, how to stand, how to do walking meditation. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Actually, now you have caused a lot of controversy. And for that, we give Arcelius Corn a big shout out for causing controversy, because controversy is good. We like controversy here on the Fazio. So somebody in Big E, they're doing the YouTube nasty, I could tell. So has anybody tried that exercise? Has anybody tried it? So let me see. Okay, so they're having conversations between themselves. And Honeyco is now sending Big E a picture. So Sab is asking Big E if she can send her picture to the no, you cannot. No, wait, Sab can. Arcelius Corner cannot. Okay. So April and Cebu, you and Arcelius Corner have caused a lot of controversy this week, because there is one crying in the wilderness that believes you two people are the same person. Even though Big E explained that April in Cebu is in another country getting a doctorate or some sort of degree in her field, and Arcelius Corner is in the Philippines. Now, he explained this, but there is one crying in the wilderness who refuses to believe the truth. So the only truth that one crying in the wilderness is ever going to get out of the Philippines blogging community is that one crying in the wilderness called me an e-beggar. And so what did I do? Did I get upset? Did I go crying? Did I cry about it? No, I didn't. So I said, you know what? Let me see. Let's see how I could work this. Because I'm a businessman. You know, I run a legitimate scam. Let me see how I could work this into my show. So what I decided to do was, if I'm a scammer, I might as well be good at that too, because I'm good at a lot of things. I'm really good at a lot of things. So if I'm going to be a shyster, and I got a series coming up, Father Shyster, and it's going to be sung like the song by the Kinks, Father Christmas, blah blah blah. It's going to be Father Shyster, da da da, like that. So it's a series. I'm working on that part. I only know that part so far, but I got scams coming one right after the other for the next 10 days. So right, Big Kevin, I got a picture of when I send it. Oh, Big Kevin got pictures of him in a bikini. Big Kevin got a picture of him in a bikini. Big Kevin, you know what? Let me tell you something, Big Kevin. I got a feeling if you do a live stream in a G string, a live stream in a G string, I got a feeling the admirers are going to come out of the woodwork. They're going to be talking about that for a long time, Big Kevin. So I want everybody here to close their eyes just for a moment and picture Big Kevin in a G-string with a little banana cup in the front. Well, in his case, a big banana cup in the front. I want you to try to get a visual on Big Kevin in a G-string with the banana cup on the front, like they wear in where they wear Africa or the Bahamas or whatever. They got the eggplants that they got in the front there. Big Kevin in a G-string with a banana cup in the front, a yellow banana cup, and standing there like that. How do you like me now? And directing that energy in a certain direction. How do you like me now? Look at the banana cup. Then I got a feeling you're going to have at least. I won't say it, but you know where I was going with that. The important thing is that you know where I was going with that. And that's why, because me and Big Kevin, in a lot of ways, we have this satirical type of humor. Satire, I think that's the word. But the satire part of humor, we got that down. And if you really want humor, and Big Kevin is doing a dialogue, move the, not the quality of the picture, but the speed of the picture. Move it up to 1.5 or 1.75 on one of Big Kevin's videos when he's talking. You do that, and it's going to sound like Big Kevin is on helium, like he's on helium, and it's funny as all get out. That's what I do when I want to watch the Big Kevin show, and I don't really feel like sitting through 2 hours. I'll put it up to 1.75 or 2. Now, if you're not familiar how to do that, there's a button in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen that says video speed. Now, if the first time you do that, if you don't train your mind, see, I can listen to any video at 2 times speed and hear the words in the video, because for me, that was part of the training I did with Norm Tolson, to change the speed of, it was a reel to reel, and we listened to the speed of, we listened to Whale Song, and then we listened to Whale Song at, like, quarter speed more, and then we listened to Whale Song at 1.5 times and then 2 times. And that was the first thing we listened to change the speed. And that is to train the mind to be able to see or listen faster. So then we recorded the words of what we were talking about in the room on the same tape. It just got erased and we went over it. But we listened. We would record, like, say, 1 hour of a session on Saturday or Sunday or Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we would play that back. And when we played it back, he would play it at 1.5 or 2 times speed. That was to train the mind the same way I'm trying to tell you that you can train your mind to do these breathing exercises. That was to train your mind to be able to perceive thought at a different rate, at a faster rate. However, if you did that and you listened to the 1 hour playback in a half an hour, then when you listen to the words in the room at normal speed when people were talking, it would train your mind to be more perceptive to the words. It would seem like they were talking in slow motion. This is all different ways to train your mind to do things. Now, the purpose of training the mind is to make you more aware of your surroundings. Fast speed, slow speed, conversation, whale song, it's all the same thing. Traffic noises, it's all the same thing. Then what we would do is Norm would play a musical album, whatever album he wanted to play. And he would say, I don't want you to listen to any instrument or words on the album. I just want you to listen to the guitar. That's it. Of course, you're going to say, how can I not listen to everything? It could be a Beatles album. And you have 4 tracks, 8 tracks, 16 tracks of sound on a Beatles album. He goes, I just want you to listen to the guitar. And you would try to do that, and it would be impossible. But if you tried to do it and you focused on just the guitar, at first you can't do it. But after a while, you can do it. After you train your mind to segregate that one thought. So I only banged on the drums for a couple of months. I never got good at it. I only remember the first couple of beats that I learned. But Rocco taught me the same thing. I was 21 at the time. When I was in Norm's class, I was 16 and a half till I was 21, really. I stayed in his classes. So Rocco told me, just listen to the drums in the music, just the drum beat, blank it all out. So I was already familiar with that methodology. So these are all ways to train your mind. And the purpose of training your mind is to focus on your inner self, which will bring you to your higher self. Now, your higher self is not the God consciousness, not yet. You'll know when that happens. It might happen right away, but probably not. So, but each time you do these exercises, it trains you to become more and more aware. And each time you do the meditation exercise and the breathing exercise and the focusing on one instrument, it brings you to more and more, being more and more aware of your surroundings. So, all right, so Big Kevin is sent Big E outfit of diapers. Whoa. Rain Rule says, Big Kevin, send to Big E his outfit of diapers. And then Arcelius Corner is saying, Big E is a very generous super daddy. And she said, Salamat, what can I do for you, Big E? And then Big E said, you can let me be your instructor in the Church of Christians Plus in the underworld. Biggie wants you to be his first student in the underworld of the Church of Christians Plus. Okay. And Rain Ray saying something about $100. Still here watching, Lyrish Israel. I don't have $100. Okay, they're talking to each other. So this is how you do the meditation. Now, April and Sabu, you don't have a picture. I think she's talking to Big E. Yes, Rain. Ella, where they can grab first Big E. Oh, Mr. Fazio, can I offer my services because I don't yet have work at this time? Sob. Yes. You most certainly. In fact, when I saw you walking on the beach, I was thinking about you offering me your services at that time, to be honest with you. I was focusing on you walking on the beach, and I was thinking, how can I help this girl? How can I make this girl happy? So that's something I want you to understand, that your services will be welcome. So when this thing is over, I hope that I can work something out with you. And if you're single, I should put that in as a caveat, because at that time, who knows when this thing is going to be over? You don't have work. Rain, Raoul doesn't have work too. Yeah, we could do this. We could. This is working out quite well, this 5 o'clock show. Yes, we can do this. Bishop Fazio, Sob Adventures, we should also consider ordaining her. Well, not only do I want to ordain Sob. Okay, first of all, let me just tell you, there's if you've been following my shows, you know that I have other services that I'm going to provide besides the minstrel services at the church. So one of the other services that I provide, that I hope to be able to provide for Sob, being that Sob wants to work with me on this, one of the services that I'm going to provide is a whitening technique. Okay, so you know how the Filipinos, they want to become more and more white? Well, I have an instant whitification process. So this is something that I would have to discuss with you in private, but yes, your services will be welcome, and I will prepare for that. And I'm getting a little nervous here, because now Rain Raoul, she's offering services too, and Honeycomb probably should be next. Honeycomb was thinking about it. I say I'm a very psychic person. So, just kidding, Honeycomb. Now, so, they go to get first Big E, then I follow them. I like the way you think, Rain. Yeah, I have a partner in my services, says Sob Adventures. Okay. All right. I have it. I'm ready. So we will give you PIX exemption, Sob Adventures, because I've known you for years. I know your identity. So awesome, Rain. Wow, that'd be great, says Sob. So I hope she's talking to me. And don't forget, Sob, I have a side service of whitening. It's instantaneous. Well, not quite instantaneous, but it works. It works every time, I assure you. I will ordain you. I could ordain you, and at the same time, I could brighten up your day, or whiten up a little bit of your skin. So, Rain is going to pass. Okay, ha, says Sob. This is turning into quite the spiritual experience, I got to tell you. So, let me talk about next year. Rain is going to apply. Mrs. Livingstone, oh my God, don't tell me Mr. Fazio was once a red diaper doper baby. I'm not real sure what that means. Is that a good thing? Bang, says Arcelius Corner. Why need next year? April and Cebu, LOL. I need to think first. Big E is laughing. Rain, okay, that's good. They did it. Hello to all. Adrian Gibson. Welcome to the machine, Adrian Gibson. We are having a little fun here. Fun with Father Fazio, and I'm also teaching people how to focus through different meditation techniques to bring up their level of consciousness. I will take care of Rain, Bishop. I will get her picture pre-qualified. That'd be very nice. Big Kevin? Hey, says Big Kevin, I'm single. I want to walk on the beach. I need a job. Big Kevin, I would bet big money that if you wore that G-string with the yellow banana cup in the front, I would think that your services would be much wanted, much wanted. According to what you said today and what you said last week, I'm thinking that the services of Big Kevin would be sought after. Sought after. I don't know. I don't know if you would actually get paid for it in anything more than a smile, but I would think, I would think Big Kevin, you would a G-string and a banana cup, you would have women flocking to you. I mean, seriously. And I heard that thing you said today. I was laughing my butt skis off, laughing. I stopped doing what I was doing and just started laughing. So Big Kevin has a sense of humor. So who wants whitening? Big E. The whitening services, by the way, the whitening services will be free. There'll be a short prayer ceremony where you will have to kneel before the whitener, and then the services will be rendered. Okay? And then that's how that works. So you go to the Church of Christians Plus, and you kneel and pray, and then the whitening ceremony happens kind of like an ordination, but it's also like a whitening process. So, Honeycomb baby, I want to. Whoa, we got a lot of women here that want to go to the Church of Christians Plus. Oh my God. So let me get some energy here, because I want to show you Big Kevin. Rain, I just want you to know something about Big Kevin. Now, Big Kevin is tall, and he's also stocky, okay? But that's not why they call him Big Kevin. I have heard stories from here in the Philippines about Big Kevin and why his name is Big Kevin. It has nothing to do with his body weight or his height, okay? So if you could figure out the rest on your own, Big Kevin might be at the highest level of choice amongst the women in the Philippines. So far, I've heard stories about that, and even till to this day, they talk about Big Kevin. Big Kevin. You know Big Kevin? You don't know Big Kevin? I knew Big Kevin. I heard a story about Big Kevin. Yep. Big Kevin is famous in the Philippines, baby. So let's do a Sab. Oh, Sab knows where we're going with the Sab remembers the ordination and the whitening process. That's right. In fact, I think I might have mentioned that before, and I think you were there. Oh no, Sab. Yes, I don't need whitening, Mr. Fazio. I'm sorry to hear that, Sab. But if you change your mind, you can always come back for seconds. I mean, change your mind the second time around. Sab is white. Ah, you've been whitened before. You have my color is normal, rain rule. Everybody's color is normal. Sab, we have a beach. Do you live close to the beach, Sab? How far away to the beach do you live? I mean, like 100 feet, 200 feet? Oh, rain. You're raining on my parade. I was hoping that we could give everybody a whitening refresher course. No. Can we have Big Kevin do a stand-up on the side, too? He will. Honeyco says, I want to be famous, Mr. Fazio. How about I make you famous? how about we do one of those, I'll do a video before and after the whitening process. I'll make you famous. I mean, if you ask me nice twice, I'll make you famous. So, see, Big E just said the same thing. If you play your cards right, honeycomb, I'll make you famous. Yep. In fact, I was thinking about making you famous first, actually, because you need it. You are in a place where companionship is at a bare minimum, so you really need to be famous. So if I can help you in any way, shape, or form that I can, when you come to the Philippines, I will come to you and I will try to make you famous. I'll have video. We'll have a beach. We'll have dinner on the beach. And if you're not afraid, are you a swim? Because I have swimmers. Can you swim? And moving on. April and Cebu. It's okay. Philippines on Demand is talking to Kevin. No, Kevin, don't answer those kind of questions. Big E in Cebu said, when Kevin was thin, his nickname was Kevin the Mule. And you know why. Rain says, thank you for the information about Big Kevin. There's a lot of women that need to know that about Big Kevin. And it's true. Everything you ever heard about Big Kevin. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been able to see the response. Is Big Kevin going to have the G-string thing going? I'm waiting for the Philippines on Demand. Welcome to the machine, Bill. What kind of operation is Mr. Fazio running? The room is running amok. Okay, so what we're going to talk about God again for a momentarily, and let me just show you. I am a creator. Okay, I am a creator of many things. So first of all, we have the money pot, which I don't want any more super chat because I have. Today, I received many thousands of pesos in gifts today. But this, if I just showed this to you, it looks like a normal oil filter, or part of the inside of a normal oil filter. So this is a paper cartridge in the oil filter. So I just said I'm like God, because I created a different oil filter from this oil filter. I created one that works for a machine where you no longer can buy oil filters. So how that works is oil goes through this paper cartridge. Now, right now, I could blow through this. Easy. But the filters I took out of the machine, you could not even pass air through it. So it went through something called a poppet valve, which is on this end of the, don't get excited, this end of the oil filter, the poppet valve one. So I'll show you what I created from this oil filter. See, now what you see here is what the paper was all the way down to the end. Don't get excited. The paper was all the way down to the end of this oil filter. Okay? Now I cut the paper back and I took that paper off the oil filter and put it on to another tube that's like this, but a little bit shorter, and inside what is called an oil filter canister. So actually, I created an oil filter replacement where you no longer can buy that oil filter. I don't know where you could buy one, but I've called up every dealer for that manufacturer in America, and I called up every dealer in Manila about 2 years ago when I first started doing service on that machine. Nobody had one. Nobody. So I just took it apart, and here's what I came up with. So this cut the paper out of there. This became this. as you can see, it's now this is a smaller, this is the filter canister that I rebuilt. Now, so this tube is inside here already. So what I had to do, I'll show you. See, because I am like God. I am God-like in many ways. I create things. So I'll just show you. This is a bar clamp, B-A-R, Bravo Alpha Romeo clamp, and it's a squeeze clamp. So the harder you squeeze this, the more it compresses. Now the reason this is on here is because going on a week now, I replaced the cartridge that was inside this canister. So I'm going to pop this off like this. Just pop it off. Yep. It's glued on there. Nice, Fazio. Okay. So we'll bring it back like this. See, it's the glue stuck to the all right, I'll just take this off here this way. I'm going to take the filter. I'm going to take the clamp out of the boot. There's a boot on the top. So I'm just going to pull the clamp out of the boot, and then tomorrow I'll go outside and just take a razor blade and put it underneath the boot and cut the I'll cut the epoxy. So what I did was, what you have to do is you have to take this filter canister apart. And how you do that is you pop this end off on this side. It just kind of looks a little bit like this, but it's a little different. The end is just a little piece of metal. So I'm talking about being godlike here. I'm talking about creating something that nobody will be able to sell you when you can't buy. So which meant you could take the machine and run it without filters, which is not an option, or you could have left the old filters in and the poppet valve popping all day, which is not an option. So you got to get a filter. So no one, and everybody wanted me to give them this canister. Everybody said, give me the canister and I'll send it to my man in Manila. And had they took this canister, now I would have no filter if it didn't come back. So I told them, what are you, nuts? Are you crazy? You want me to give you this canister that I can't replace, I can't buy, I can't find, no one has, and there's no machine with one in it? You want me to give this to you? Then what will I use for a canister? Oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, right. I'm going to give them something that's obsolete because the machine is old, and they're going to guarantee me that it's going to come back. You take that and you could, so on inside the canister has an end on this side, and this, I pop this off, and then there's another end on this side with a flange, and around this flange goes a square O-ring, a square seal. So then when you pop those two ends off, inside, you just pull this tube out with the old oil filter on the tube. Clean up the caps, clean up the metal dust off of what you cut on this oil filter canister, the used one, blow it off with a blowgun, and then put the cartridge in here, inside the canister, and then take an epoxy and put it all over the inside of this cap. Give it a nice healthy coat, and then you put it on the end, and some of it will come out from the inside in here, which I don't know if you could see. Okay, some of it you're going to be able to see. Maybe, maybe not. This is very powerful light. Well, some of it you can see around the outside. We'll try the outside. Let's see. Yeah, okay. See that little bit of beige stuff there? That's the epoxy that I didn't wipe off with the red. Okay, and the same on the other side. Then you put one side on, and then you put the other side on, and you could see the epoxy that like it's like a beige, pinkish beige, and then you just put it on, put the end cap on, and the epoxy sticks to the new paper filter, and it sticks to the metal enough that the metal will never come unglued, because the epoxy is in the little holes of the cartridge. So in a way, I was very godlike to create this item. I'm God, like I am a creator, okay? Where there are people that can't even, you know, they don't even have, they have no screw gun, they don't have a drill, they don't have drill bits, they don't have a screwdriver, they don't have a hammer, but he does have a pair of pliers, because I remember somebody saying that one of the workers left a pair of pliers laying around and he glommed it. So I don't know that to be a fact, but I heard that story. So anyway, I created this. So now I'm gonna, and now I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this and put it inside the bell ringing thing, and you're gonna hear the difference between my fingers. If I put my hand in here, the God pot, and then I'm gonna tell you why we do this in a minute. Also, listen to the pot with my hand inside the pot like that. So here's the pot now, all right? And I'm gonna give it the best shot I can, but it's not gonna sound, it's gonna sound great, but it's not gonna sound fantastic like when I put the godlike filter into the godlike pot. But listen to the pot. Now I'm gonna tell you how that works for meditation, but after I put the godlike filter into the godlike pot. 1001, 1002, 1000. I'll count, so it should be about 5 and it stops ringing. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. Okay, I could still hear it at 1009. However, when I put the godlike, because my hand is sucking up a lot of the vibrations, so a lot of the harmonics, not the vibrations. So, but when I put the godlike filter in the godlike pot, then you're going to hear a different sound. And the reason for the different sound is because there's no absorption. It's not going. I don't have anything spongy on the inside. We're going to try it. This is not going to be. It's not going to be. I'm going to put the godlike in process filter, or the decommissioned godlike filter inside the pot, because it's flat. Then I'm going to give you the sound of the decommissioned ungodlike filter in the godlike pot, and you're going to listen to the sound. First I'll ring it and you listen. I'm going to ring it one more time. In the name of the Lord, it is better for you to give and for me to receive than the other way around. Ready? Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's, now I'm going to ring it, and I'm going to show you how long it will ring, because it's got the decommissioned ungodlike filter that could have been godlike if I would have used that half instead of the other half. I'm going to show you what it sounds like, and then I'll count again. Ready? 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011. Okay, so we got 2.5 more seconds of vibration, reverberation. Okay, so what this does, what I want you to know that this does, is this harmonic, when it's repetitive for hours on end, and you're doing those breathing exercises, the bell allows you to focus and remove extraneous thoughts from your mind. And then that is what brings you super consciousness. Could happen in a minute after you start, and it might not happen if you did it for 2 hours a day for 10 years. So this is what it would sound like in a Zen Buddhist monastery, that we were doing the bell ringing that day in the monastery, or what is called a Zen-do, D-O, Z-E-N-D-O. So ready?
Now we're going to move to the next level of meditation. So it could be a record player playing a bell ringing, or it could be master banging his bell, because his bell was a real brass or bronze, high quality bronze bell. I only have a stainless steel pot, but I got to tell you, my stainless steel pot makes a lot. So you could have somebody banging the bell in the back of the Zendo, and you're doing hatha yoga, either kneeling or walking exercises. But in addition to that, in order to clear your mind further, you're doing what is called the Zen Buddhist meditation, or Aum. Now that further clears your mind besides the sound of the bell. So let's talk about further clearing your mind, and I'll do a little bit of Aum, and I'm being serious. This is how you can raise the consciousness of your mind. And then I'll go back to the comments after, let's say, it's 5:38 now. After 2 minutes, I'll do this for 2 minutes. But I want you to understand, if you have a pot, you can become godlike with a pot from your kitchen. So Lyrish, Israel Caregiver, says, I love to cook. Well, you want to know the sign of the peso? Sadu, girl after my own heart. She likes the sound of pesos. And I like you already. So, I like you a lot. Me and she likes pesos. I like pesos too. So, Mike Whitcomb with a little witty comment. I just woke up and I'm watching a guy banging on a pot with a cross on it. I thought I was having a dream. LOL. It is a dream. Life is but a dream. Kevin sings that song all the time. Merrily, 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 we rode a boat, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Okay, so now this is a clean. This is not my morning show, Sob, but you know what, Sob, I bet you big money if you came here and banged my pot. I bet you we'd get some donations. Because I would tell everybody, Sob is in the house and she is banging my pot. That's right. I would give you the spatula, the money pot spatula with the cross on it, and I would let you bang the pot. Okay, so ready? We're going to do a little meditation, 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, and this is going to raise. Go get a pot from your kitchen cabinet, preferably one with no handle, and stick something in there that looks like this. Stick something in there that looks a little bit like this, metal and with a metal top on it. That'll give you the best vibration. And so here we go. This is for Sob. I'm going to bang the pot first for Sob, because this is the money pot. Okay, you all know this is the money pot because on this side is the money sign. See, so if we are collecting pesos in the morning, we are doing the money sign. But in the afternoon, when we're talking about the word of God, and when the Lord said, let there be one with a legitimate scam, Michael Fazio rises to the occasion, Sob. I just want you to know, when the Lord said, let there be one that runs a legitimate scam, Michael Fazio will rise to the occasion for you, Sob. I mean, for, just the kind of guy I am. So, ready? Well, we got to get to the bottom of the comments. Oh, everybody here. Page High, Drive Time Zoo. That's right, baby. Page High. Dr. Page High is in the house. Salamat. Thanks for stopping by. the therapy of the mind. So right now, Dr. Page, hi, this is what we're doing. I'm banging the pot and I'm thinking about sob adventures whilst I bang the pot. And I also, very kind and generous man that I am, I've offered sob the privilege of coming to my house and banging the pot with me. So just to let you know that nobody, no woman should be without the experience of the Father Fun, or in future reference, I'll be known as Father Shyster, or Father Fun, the Shyster. I don't care, as long as they send me money. So I'm offering Sob the privilege of coming to my house and banging my pot, or coming to my house and I will bang her pot if she brings a pot. Otherwise, I'll figure out something. I'll let her use my pot. I'll bang that. Okay, ready? Ready? Okay, so feel like somebody, let's see what the deleted message, view deleted message. Let's see what Philippines says. I can't even get 16 viewers for 17 hours of planning materials for a stream. I'm going to start banging a pot. Bill, bang a pot, make a lot. You know the story. And Jesus says it's better for you to give to Michael Fazio than to receive. So we're going to do 2 minutes of meditation. And I'm serious. This is going to build up your chi, or your soul energy. Ready? Ready? This guy kills me, baby. I'm here to help, like the government. Ready? This is going to bring Jesus and God energy into your soul. So you remember, if you need a little extra boost about bringing Jesus or God into your soul, I want you to fantasize. I mean, think about Sob coming over to my house and banging my pot. Okay? Because I run a legitimate scam. Ready? God. Ready? God. Go. 1, 2, 3. Jesus. Like Chevy Chase, right? Like with the golf ball. Remember he did the Zen Buddhist, the golf ball thing? Oh, Jesus. Come on. I got to get a new thing to stick in my pot. Sob, you got anything I could stick in the pot? Like an Indian. Like Frank Zappa. Yeah, baby. I was pretending that whole time I was banging Sob's pot. because I know, and you know, and she knows, because she just put a bell with a hammer next to the bell. She wants me to hammer her pot. And who am I to deny Sob the privilege of getting her pot banged proper? Okay, there's ways to bang something, and there's ways not to bang something. And you know, and I know, and everybody knows that right now, I know how to bang a pot. Sob. My girl. I'll give you a little extra. Look at this. Sob. Bang, bang, bang. Sob. Bang, sob's pot. Bang, sob's pot. Bang a pot. Bang, sob's pot. Banging sob's pot. Pot. Oh, pot. Bang, bang, sob's pot. Bang, sob's pot. Yeah, baby. These are some of the services that the Church of Christian Plus will be offering to the women in the underworld, dating services by Big E and Michael Fazio and Big Kevin. Remember that. So, from Buddha, I did a Buddha banging of the pot. I did an Indian version of the banging of the pot. I'll do a Hatha yoga banging of the pot. I'll do a, oh, wait. Sob. I got it. I'm going to do a special. I got something that I think you're going to like. Okay, Sob, wait. Just don't go away. Okay, we're not going to do the money pot. And we did the Jesus banging, right? Now we're gonna do what I'm gonna coin it a Sob special. Watch this. We call that the T-Lop pot banging. Watch. This is gonna be a Sob special. I cracked me up. Okay. Now you know. If anybody ever asks you what's a Sob special, tell them to watch the video. So. And we have other things that we're going to do too. But we can't reveal all the secrets of the dating services in the Church of the Underworld. So, what did he say? My ears are still. I was talking about a Sob special. So let's go back up to the comments and see what I missed, and then we'll go down. After Sob gave me a bell and a hammer to bang the bell and the hammer, the Sob bell and the Sob hammer. Tony Hutchinson is in the house. In the bishop thing, banging the pot is one of the things when you're going to quantify or qualify to be a member of the Church of Christians Plus. You're going to have to learn to bang a pot, and then you can stand at the door, and I could take care of the underground dating services if there needs servicing in the underground dating services, because I have a feeling that there's going to be a big demand. I already know there's 3 girls here sending in the pictures. Mike Whitcomb says if he wasn't awake, he is now, and you had 28 last night. Philippines demand, that's a good number. Sobs is saying, I don't know if she's saying thank you. This is from before. This is before the Sob special. We're not sure if Sob, we can run a special on Sob. But if she asks me very nice, twice, I'll take care of that. So, she likes the Sob special. So we'll sing to Sob. Thank you very much, Sob, and thank you for being part of the entertainment process. Because everything that I do here is more for comedy, satire, and of course for fun. And so thank you for having such a great sense of humor and allowing that sense of humor to be shared with everybody else, because some people would get frightened of a sob special. Now I know that not a sob special is not for everybody, but those are the unfortunate and the underachievers in life, what I call the non-screamer sect. And that's one of the services that Big E is going to be working on in the church dating service in the underworld. The non-screamer, where we will turn everybody into a screamer via the sob special. That's right. So everybody will become a screamer. Everybody will become a dreamer. And you could dream of screaming with a sob special. So now let's go back up to the comments, and we'll see if we got any pre-orders for a sob special. Well, and you know what? I don't want to talk about that. The one thing I wanted to talk about. So sob is okay with this so far. So far, so good. Big E, it's Big E's fault. And Big E says Philippines on demand. He literally made $300 last year to flush a toilet. That was one day last year. One day. When I got a crowd all together last year to flush a toilet, Bill. No joke. All together last year to flush a toilet. People paid me about $1,500. At the same time, I was running the pot scam. The toilet, I made people beg me to flush the toilet. And I would say, look, you guys send me $20 and I'll flush the toilet. They'd send me 20. Somebody would say, do it again. And I'd go wait till the tank to fill. I'd do it again. But there were some people that would send me $50 if I would flush the toilet. And I would say, look, $20 will get no. I want a $50 flush. They would give me $50 to flush the toilet. Bill, I'm not kidding. In just a few months, I made about $1,500 with the camera on the flushing mechanism in a toilet. I will admit it was a different kind of flushing mechanism. It kind of dropped the water in off a pan, but still about $1,500. So you want to, and then the pot banging brought in a lot more than that. But Bill, you weren't even around for the haircut. So Sob is laughing. Thank you. Sob Adventure says, you make me laugh, Mr. Fazio. Well, probably that's a good thing, because some people don't have a sense of humor, and some people take it so serious that now they're going to bring these videos to show them to the church, show them to the Vatican. Look, he's making fun of Jesus Christ. He is making fun of Jesus Christ. Jesus, I want you to understand something. All the stories that you've heard about Jesus, I don't believe a lot of it. Neither does Big E. That was an interesting thing. Also, what was interesting about Big E talking about religion last week is that Big E knew that although Jesus was supposedly born of the Virgin Mary, he had brothers and sisters. He did. And in fact, I do believe Big E would know who it was, but one or two of the apostles it is spoken about that one or two of the apostles were actual physical half-brothers of Jesus. So Big E would know, and I don't know if that's true, but I read it, and I've read it in history books that will not be published to the general public. Thank you, Bill. Philippines on Demand says, Tony Hutchinson, I think your football is referred to as soccer in your country, in our country. Soccer is football in yours. And Mr. Fazio has been banging a pot for 2 hours, and he has officially lost his sanity. Not the same old BS on YouTube, says Big E. And you want to hear the funny part about this? We have now on this show, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have business executives, we have comedians, and we have police officers, police profilers, and police investigators on this show right now. We have all of that. And those are just my friends. Those were the people that come to see the show. This is not that the show is going to people like this. There are my biggest pledges in Patreon and my biggest super chatters are all high-ranking executives in the business world, doctors, lawyers, and some police officers. And those are and the people that I am friends with in real life that bring stuff to the Philippines, they have all been police officers except for Fox 2221. So Sab is laughing a little bit more. LOL, funny and crazy, says Bill. Philippines on Demand, Tony Hutchinson. The author of the books of James and Jude are both, okay, so 2. It was 2. I thought it was, I wasn't real sure. I was kind of thinking it was James, but I didn't know it was Jude. So James and Jude, Jesus, that would make sense because of the letter J. So the author of the books of James and Jude are both the biological half-brothers of Jesus and are named as such in the Bible. Okay, I've read that, but I didn't know that it was true. Okay, so we're talking about there are the encyclica of the Bible. I had that. What was the name of that? Tom's? No, not Tom's. Not John's. Not Smith's. It was. I had a book about this thick that gave you the definition of every word in the Bible and the origination of that. Rain is back. Welcome back to the machine. They are profiling Mr. Fazio, says Tony Hutchinson. So before you go any further, let me know that if you want me to be profiled, I will go voluntarily into any authoritative profiling institution and I will come out aces, because what has happened in the past for the Florida State Highway Patrol, I had to be profiled and I passed the psychological. The Florida Marine Patrol, of course, I passed the psychological, and the Florida Correctional Institution, I passed the psychological. So I could pass any psychiatric exam. I don't care who gives it or how they give it. This is just comedy. If you don't think it's comedy, it's because you, not you, Tony Hutchinson, it's because you, the person out there, has no comedic ability whatsoever. Has no understanding of satire and no understanding of anything that has to do with comedy. Do you realize, Tony Hutchinson, that people have told me, and I'm not kidding about it, have told me that I could have been a member of Saturday Night Live. You think I'm kidding you? Well, I'm not kidding you. I could have been on Saturday Night Live had they discovered my talents back then, because I did this stuff back then. I just did it for construction workers on the job. I've also been told, even now to this day, if anybody ever did discover me, I could go on a show and do comedy, and maybe even do a circuit in the comedy circuit. So I have a gift that a lot of people don't have. So when you say they're profiling me, they can profile me, but you have to understand they pay people big money in America to do this. There are people that made millions of dollars doing stuff just like I do for free, basically for free. So profiling me is okay. Categorizing me would be okay, but it would have to be done under proper circumstances. So I don't really know why you said that, but it's an honest and true statement. They could be profiling me, and they could also look at me and say the guy is a genius, which is probably closer to the truth, because I have the ability to maintain a little bit of an audience, but I have the ability to create on demand, as opposed to crying in the wilderness, one crying in the wilderness. I'm completely different than those other people. So we have off the subject of profiling. So Tony Hutchinson said it out of humor. Thank you for clearing that up, guys. Okay, so we love the big the Fazio. Hit the. I gotta say thank you for hitting the like button. But I gotta tell you, to me it don't matter. I'm gonna do these shows every day. I don't know what is today. I think today's Thursday. Yeah. Thursday. Okay, so Friday, tomorrow morning, I will be doing a show at 10 p.m. Philippines time. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but I'll abuse somebody for sure. Let that sink in for a minute. So, Sab says, guys, show your love of Mr. Fazio. Hit the thumbs up. Salamat. Okay, so Tony Hutchinson has a sense of humor. Thank you very much, Tony Hutchinson. So the legendary Mars Bankud is here. Whoever that is, she's here, baby. First time, Mars Bankud. Welcome to the show. Let's give Mars Bankud a shout out. Let's see. Tell you what we're going to do. What we're going to do is I'm going to use a different pot. I'm going to use the Mars Can Do shout out pot, which is over here. Hold on. It's right over here. There's a special pot right there. This is a special pot. It says on the inside, a little dark in there, it says Mars Can Do. Now, what I would really be interested is to know what Mars can do. Oh, no, not Mars Can Do. Mars Bankud. Mars Bankud. This is the Mars Bankud Bang a Pot. Love a lot. So the Mars, we don't know Mars that well. So we're going to bang a pot in honor of Mars Bankud. Mars Bankud. My first time here. So Mars, this pot banging session is devoted strictly for you. And if you need personal lessons on banging a pot, I'm your man. All right, so ready? Mars Bankud. Mars Bankud, 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 Mars Bankud. Can you feel me banging the Mars Bankud pot? That's the question that you have to, when you go to sleep tonight, I want you to think about Michael Fazio banging the Mars Bankud pot. So, what I just want you to remember that, oh my God, talking about banging things and the love that Saab gave me, whoa, I got something over here I want to show Saab, and I want to share. So come, he wants Mars. Oh, Big E knows Mars. Okay, so all right, so okay, Mars Bankud. Sometimes I'm in your live, but in the background, only to give a like. All right, so Mars Bancoot she's a stalker. Gotta like that, yeah? So, no, not a real stalker, though, but a love stalker. She's back there thinking about Big E and, brother, host, this is my first time here. Well, I banged the pot for you, Mars. And in honor of Sob Sob, I'm going to show Sob Sob something right now. I'm going to show Sob Sob something. This is for you, Sob Sob. I want you to understand. First, we have to clear the pot. We got water over there. We got a filter over there. We're gonna clear the pot. First, gotta clear the pot. This is for you, Sob Sob. Sob Sob, you're still here, right? I sure would hate to do this for nothing. You're still here, Sob Sob? Whoa, Mars Bancoot, 17 years in Kuwait. So this is, if Sob Sob isn't here, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to show this. Sob Sob, Sob Sob, where are fought down? Sob Sob's not here. I'll have to wait for another show. You just remind me for the Sob Sob special. Okay, she's gone. Unfortunately, we'll just have to be bringing in the Sob Sob special at another time. Come back, Sob Sob. Come back. Come back. Come back. So Mars Bancoot. Biggie says, Mars Bancoot was one of the pioneers of live streaming and got many into it. She spawned many children on YouTube. Wow, that's pretty cool. You know, when I first heard about live streaming, Mars, and everybody else, there was a guy from Thailand. I think he was Thailand. He was a real jerk. And I said to myself, look at that guy. I mean, who would want to do that anyway? But then I started listening to a couple of other shows, and some of the guys were being a little abusive, and I kind of liked that. So what I decided to do was do some live streaming. So Daisy and I applied for it, and we got it right away. So Mars was 17 years as an OFW in Kuwait. Wow, that's a long time. What did you do there for 17 years? I hope you had a family. Otherwise, you know what happens, Mars, if you don't have a relationship for a very long time. Well, it's very dangerous for a woman not to have some form of relationship, physical relationship, because what happens is after several months, if you were unfortunate in that method, after several months, it can just close up and turn into a nasty scar. It's possible that could happen. So we wouldn't want that to happen to you, because Big E has an affinity for you, apparently, and he likes you. So, name Serge. So Serge is taking care of that problem. That's good to hear. Okay, they met a few times. Okay, so I just want you to, all the women out there that are not having sexual relationships, you're in danger after 6 or 7 months. What can happen is it dries up, it closes up, and it just turns into a nasty scar. And then that's it. It's over. All right, so, okay, the Bible, Mars. Ooh, yeah, we could do Bible study. Actually, I wrote a book about the Bible. Atrophy of the, Paige High would know the medical terminology for that. Atrophy of the something, we'll just call it the woo-woo. If the woo-woo is not woo-wooing, it can close up and turn into a nasty star. Woo, woo, woo. That's so. We could talk about the Bible. I have a different interpretation of the Bible. I believe the Bible was written by beings that, and I'm serious now, I believe the Bible was written by beings that are pretending to be God so that they could control history. Big E has a different perception, but I'm serious. I believe that the Bible was written, I don't necessarily believe in time travel, but with beings that could control enough of the world through religion to control the world. And I believe the Vatican controls the world. And I don't believe the Vatican has a damn thing to do with the tenets of love and, brother and sisterhood in the Bible. So we might see eye to eye and we might not, but I don't believe the Bible was written by God. Okay. Now, or the finger of God. Or I do believe that there was spiritual inspiration involved in the writing of the Bible to some degree. Even Sir Francis Bacon, who rewrote the King James Bible in 1611, I believe he was divinely inspired to the degree that he did the will of something that had the ability to take over his consciousness and pretend to be God. Now, I could be wrong, but when I went into higher states of consciousness through meditation, what I learned about in the Bible went out the window with what I learned about normal consciousness. Just those two things, they just don't exist. Normal consciousness, Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, two different things. Normal consciousness, Christ consciousness. Higher consciousness, cosmic consciousness. That and normal consciousness, two different things. The Bible, the words, as a story, they follow certain trends of thought. But you got to remember, the Old Testament didn't have a lot of love in it, and I don't believe they were written as two separate books. I believe they were written as two possibilities of what God can do to mankind. So, don't make any mistake about the Bible. Divinely inspired, the finger of God. Saints came down and told John what to write on the island of Patmos. All of that's probably true, but I believe those saints and spiritual guides were of a super psychic ability that have done this before on other worlds or on this world in previous incarnations of humanity. So that's my short take on the Bible. But if you want to talk about the Bible, I think it has some great principles and tenets. So let's go back up to the comments. Okay, thank you for welcoming me. I need to feed my mom. Excuse me. Sob. Thank you. We'll do this another time. I have a special ceremony I want to do for you, and it involves banging the pot. So you let me know, maybe on one of my shows, you remind me. I will leave the, oh, you got a thumbs up there. I will leave that open. All right, go to your mom. We'll sing, wait, let's sing for your mom. Amazing Grace. No, not that. Let's see. Michael Rowe. No, let's sing The Bear Went Over the Mountain for your mom. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. And what do you think he saw? Well, he saw a bunch of stinkweeds. Or Sob is cooking. He saw a bunch of stinkweeds. Sob is cooking. He saw a bunch of stinkweeds. And what do you think he did? Mrs. Sob, he ate up all the stinkweeds. Sob is cooking. He ate up all the stinkweeds. Sob is cooking. He ate up all the stinkweeds. Sob is cooking for her mom. And what do you think he did? Mrs. Sob, He did it all over the mountain. He did it all over the mountain. He did it all over the mountain. And now you can eat Sob Sob's cooking. Salamat. Hello, Mrs. Sob Sob. Welcome to the Fazio Machine. Father Fun here. Next week we're going to do a show called Father Fun, a.k.a. the Shyster from Brooklyn. So, Big E. Okay, Big E wants to meet Mars Bankud. She is the most unselfish woman on YouTube. Brother host, this is my first time here. Big E says she is Serge, his partner. If you know Serge in France. I've seen Serge on a show. So Serge, if you listen to this, just understand it's all in good fun. We're just doing something a little different, something where we're not going to abuse somebody or spew hate or talk about how long this person has to live and how long that person. We don't do that shit here. We have fun. So Serge, it is fun. So thank you so much, brother host. Thank you, Mars Bankud. We'll sing the thank you song to Mars Bankud. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, Mars Bankud. Salamat. Thank you. From the Philippines, baby. So brother Biggie, Mr. Fazio, thank you for, okay, got to feed your mom. Bankud, I wanted a big show. She is one person I want to meet. Thank you, Mr. Fazio. Surges with Mars Bankud. Rain Raul. Wow, that's goose, Big E. All right, Mars Bankud. Thank you so much, brother hosts. You're welcome. Salamat. Yeah, I know Serge. How many days I saw him in my stream? Somebody stream Serge was in a couple of days ago. I don't know who he was, so I didn't really know if he was a friend or foe, so I just stayed neutral. Okay, Philippines on Demand. I have to cut out now. We'll be back. I'm gonna be ending the stream shortly anyway. It's 2 hours, and I actually want to have. I bought some fresh tomatoes yesterday, and I have some mayonnaise, a little bit of mayonnaise, and a little bit of mustard. And I bought a loaf of fresh, high-quality bread, not that garbage 30 peso loaf you buy in the bake shop. I think I spent 65 pesos on a high-end quality loaf of bread. All right, so Biggie's talking about Serge, Mars Bankud's boyfriend. All right, that's good to know. And Page High. Atrophy. Okay, here's where we were. Hope to see you again, dear friend. Philippines on Demand. Wow, she is nice. She's saying hello to everybody. That's something that some people, sometimes when I'm watching the show, if I don't respond to you, I'm just not at the computer. And sometimes I'm trying to watch the show and listen to the words, and I don't type well and listen at the same time. Maybe because I don't type natural. So sometimes I don't answer the hellos. And sometimes I'm just not at the computer. Big E interruption is much more of the traditional method. Exegesis. Whatever that is. Exegesis. Page High is a doctor, Mars Bankud, in case you're interested, a real medical doctor, and has a Filipino wife, and he actually has, I think, 2 children with his wife. He doesn't do videos, but he is a doctor. I do know that, and I do know that he has a wife and 2 children, I believe. Biggie says, a marvelous show to be put into the Broadcast Museum. Excellent. I don't know whose show you're talking about. Big Kevin show. That was a classic, Big Kevin. There's no doubt about it. Excellent. Rain Ruel. Okay, Biggie, I will. Mars Bankud. Big Kevin, hello, brother. From Mars Bankud. Big Kevin, Serge. who may have been on your show, and Marge Bancoud are friends, and he is from France. So just want you to keep you update on this, Big Kevin. So if anybody has a request, I was going to do Sympathy for the Devil, the song, because there's a the page I'm going to do some videos soon, was more active on IG, but medical board doesn't like comedy kind of stiff, not stuff, stiff. Well, in the position that you're going to take in life and be in life. Well, I was talking with somebody this afternoon about that they don't, the same thing. Some people, I was talking to 2 people in the last 3 days. You're the 3rd person that said you can't do YouTube comedy. If you wanted to, you could, but you would probably not be beneficial for your career. The fella, John Escape, I could say this, John Escape has tens of thousands of people that know his face. Directly under John Escape, 700 people directly under his command or under his supervision. And then another 700 people, 750 people that are there under their supervision. So John Escape, although you think some of these people think that my friends are unaccomplished people, John Escape can't do it either. Nor can most of the people that are on my show. Can't. They wish they could, and they could if they wanted to, but they won't because they can't. Although they want to, they can't. So Paige, you're in good company. I'm sure Dr. Clark Henderson, he looks like he got a sense of humor. I'm sure that he would also like to do this, and can't. Just not too many people have a happy-go-lucky, carefree lifestyle like myself. They are stiff. Right, I got that. They are stiff. Wow. Talk about stiff. That damn filter. Oh, boy. Hold on a minute. Yeah, okay, I'm all right. Damn it. When I grinded off that filter, I blew it with air, but I only blew the filter that I stuck into the cartridge. And now what I'm seeing on my fingers are little particles of metal chips, very small, thinner, smaller than the width of a fingerprint. That's how small they are, but they're little shiny particles. And that's probably some sort of a fiberglass. I'm going to have to go out after this show and take a shower. I don't feel it. Yeah, okay. Yep, I got them. Fiberglass poisoning. It's okay. I'll just take a bath. I didn't put it in the bed. So I'm okay. I put it inside the pot. Fiberglass poison. I hate when that happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say thank you for stopping by, and I want to say thank you to Big E for letting me do his show today. I had not planned on doing this. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I improvised, as I always do. So let's just all say goodbye. Now, Big E, if there's another show that you want to recommend, I suggest you put the name of that show on. What I'm going to do right now, well, I'll give you people a few minutes to say goodbye to each other, and I'm going to put I'm going to wipe off my desk of the fiberglass resin, fiberglass dust, and then I'm gonna put my stuff, Chi Show. Okay, so you have a wrench. So Chi Corsairs is having a show. Okay, you should have said something before. I would have ended the show. All right, Chi Corsairs is on. We're gonna say goodbye. Okay, Big E put the link up. Chi Corsairs is the host. I'm gonna go there right now and say hello, but I won't be commenting until I clean up the little bit of fiberglass dust that I'm seeing on my counter here from banging the pot. That's my fault. I made a mistake. Not a big mistake, because if I don't feel it on my arms, it's not that bad. It's not like getting fiberglass dust from a boat when you're grinding fiberglass. These are micron pieces. All right, Mars Bancoud, welcome to the machine. Thank you, Kevin, Big Kevin. I'll see you over at the Chi Corsair show. Mike Whitcomb, you have a good sense of humor, as does Tony Hutchinson. Thank you for stopping by, Tony Hutchinson. And everyone else, Big Kevin, Arcelius Corner, Saab, Rain Rule, Lyrish, Israel Caregiver, and I don't know if I missed anybody. There was a lot of people here, but I don't know. Philippines On Demand, okay. Philippines On Demand. Everybody go back over to Chi's show. Click the link. And Honeyco. So I think I got enough umping Permy from Michael Fazio in the Philippines, baby. That's right. 2 thumbs up. Have a nice day. God bless everybody. See you later. Page High, thank you very much for stopping by the show. I just get so much enjoyment out of seeing professionals on my show. Thank you, Page High. I look forward to meeting you one day as well. All right, I'm going to end the show. We're going over to see Chi. See Chi now. See Chi now. Chi Corsairs. See Chi now. Okay, Mars Bancoud. Salamat. Amping. Waisapayan. Right. Rain Roll. Welcome. Okay, bye-bye. Chi Corsairs. Click the link. 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 Click the link. I can't end the stream. Here we go. Okay.